of you with me. So all of you can leave now. Or half of you can die here.
The game starts with the main character named Robert Robertson interrogating some guy. From the dialogue, we learn that the tied-up guy works for a local villain named Shroud, who is guilty of the main character's father's death. The guy interrogates the bandit and learns that the villain is at the foundry. After the interrogation, the dude can be dropped down where he'll fall onto a dumpster or left on the balcony. Robert puts on his costume and gets into a huge high-tech robot called Mecha Man. Upon reaching the factory, the hero stealthily takes out extras and again meets that guy he interrogated on the balcony. Only now he's bolder, cockier, and doesn't hold back in his expressions. During the conversation, the main character lands the mecha's armor on him, jumps into the robot, and the broken guy turns into a villain named Toxic. A brawl begins, during which several more villains arrive, including Shroud himself. Toxic says, "Give us the Astral Pulsator and you'll live." The Astral Pulsator is an energy source that powers the mecha. The hero tells everyone to go to hell and takes off. At that moment, he thinks everything's behind him, but there was a bomb on the robot's back. An explosion occurs, during which the armor is almost completely destroyed, and Robert barely survives. The news reports that Mecha Man has protected Los Angeles for over 50 years. At the same time, 3 different pilots controlled it, who didn't reveal their identity. The first pilot was nicknamed Mecha Man Prime, who tragically died during a mission. The second was called Mecha Man Astral. He was part of a superhero group that also included Shroud. One day, Shroud reconsidered his views on life and became a villain, after which he killed the second Mecha Man. Then appeared the third generation Mecha Man of the new era, which, as we understand, was Robert. At a press meeting, he explains that the armor is almost completely destroyed and he can no longer protect the city. The guy refuses superhero work, and that same evening watches bandits rob a shop. The guy's character doesn't let him stand still, and a brawl starts. He bursts into the fight, after which she comes. Beautiful, strong, kind, drinking, and just a top chick named Blondie Blazer. She scatters the bandits in a second and helps the main character, after which they drink at a bar. Due to Blondie's superhero abilities, she can chug alcohol by the liter and not get drunk. Blondie asked where Robert gets money to maintain the suit. After all, the suit is old, and maintenance likely costs too much. Robbie answers that after his father's death, all the inheritance went to armor repair, but the suit has been held together with duct tape and his persistence for 2 years. At that moment, the hero mixes up glasses, and this happens.
That's actually not water.
God, this is like pure alcohol.
It's not like alcohol, it is alcohol. I know because you spit it directly into my open.
After, Blondie goes to wash up and an unknown guy harasses Robert. He says this bar is only for superheroes with superpowers, and you don't belong here. The bully is called Flambe, and he commands fire. At that moment, Robbie pours water in his face, and a 2-second fight begins. Flambe slips, hits his face on the bar, leaving a tooth there, and falls unconscious. After, the guy leaves the bar, and Blondie catches up with him with 2 shots of booze. After a small dialogue, they fly around the city and talk heart to heart. The main character tells how his grandfather and father were Mecha Men. Grandfather died before his birth, and father died in battle with Shroud. After the conversation, there's a small flirtation where we can kiss the chick or ignore it. After this, Blondie offers Robert to become a superhero dispatcher at the firm where she works. Her colleague is a guy named Trackstar, who babysat Robert as a child and was a close friend of his father. The firm is ready to restore Robert's suit with their money if he agrees to work for them. The guy passes a test assignment and comes to the office the next day. Blazer gives him branded clothing and asks not to tell the staff that he's the former Mecha Man, because revealing his identity could cause issues. Blondie apologizes for her behavior last night, and then the unexpected happens. As it turned out, all this time in the room was a girl named Invisigirl. Her ability is invisibility. At the same time, she suffers from asthma. She is part of the Phoenix program, where former villains go on the path of rehabilitation and become heroes. After, the hero gets to the office where he meets Royd. This is the dude who fixes the mecha suit. There, he also meets a strange guy named Waterboy, and also meets a longtime friend nicknamed Trackstar. For locals, his name is Chase. His superpower is high speed. As soon as he uses it, he ages much faster. Now he tries to walk very slowly so as not to kick the bucket. After, Robbie sits down to work and meets the team. The essence of his work is that he sends heroes on missions. Various incidents occur in the city, and he, being the dispatcher, notifies them and sends them on missions. By the way, among the team is Flambe, the guy who lost a tooth at the beginning of the game. Among the heroes here are Sonar, Flambe, Invisigirl, whom we've already seen, Punch-Up, Prism, Malevola, Golem, and Coop Train. Each hero has their own abilities, and Robert needs to direct them to superhero business. During one of the missions, Diva ends up in a cafe where an old man is lying, and she asks Robert what donuts he prefers. At that moment, a robber kicks in the door, and a brawl begins. During the fight, the old man wakes up, grabs a gun, and threatens both. Robbie says the old man doesn't know how to use a gun, so deal with the thief. Diva ignores the instructions and tries to take the gun from the old man. But at that moment, the robber fires a shot, after which he technically escapes. They take the old man away, and the mission ends. After, the heroes meet in the kitchen. Robbie says he told Chase that she violated orders. Diva understands that, essentially, Robbie snitched on her and juicily slaps him in the face.
Feel bad. Good. Fuck you.
You gonna eat those Twinks?
That's not what they're... You know what? Help yourself.
Closer to evening, Blondie praises him for good work, and Robert notices a donut that Invisigirl left. That is, before the conflict she brought him a donut, but after the scalding, didn't remove it. At the end of the shift, we learn that Blondie Blazer is dating a hero named Phenoman. Such a big and strong guy. They want to have dinner with Blazer, and Phenoman invites Robert with them. Blazy hints to Robert not to agree. Robbie is an obedient guy, he refuses, and the heroes fly off together. The next day, big guy Royd promises they'll restore Mecha Man, and Robbie meanwhile goes to work. There, Blondie comes to him with unusual news. First, she broke up with Phenoman, that big guy. And second, they need to fire one of the supers. Whoever performs the task worst and ends up at the bottom of the ranking table will be fired. During one of the missions, Diva realizes that if she drops too low in the table, she'll be fired. She acts not in the best way and frames Malevola. A small brawl starts, and Robbie orders everyone to return to base. Chase says he doesn't like Diva, and she needs to be fired. At the meeting, the guy scolds the team and says, "Get it together, or you'll go work as janitors." Robbie gives a motivational speech and sends the supers on a mission. After the shift, Invisigirl bums a cigarette from the guys and chills at a playground. Robert connects with her and says there's a robbery happening nearby. Not without the main character's help, the girl enters battle and wins. The criminal, by the way, was that guy from the cafe. Diva catches him. And since she caught the bandits, her rating went up, and she doesn't fall under dismissal. Despite all the toxicity of the local supers, they're genuinely happy for her. After, a choice is presented: Fire, Coop Train, or Sonar. Sonar, I actually really like. Very cool, smart, and intelligent dude. And this one, well, you understand. In short, we exile Coop, put her dagger on the table, and after we see a very interesting scene. Invisigirl gets it on with an unknown guy. The scene is quite frank, so it'll be on Boosty without any censorship. A little bit later, it turns out her Adam is Robert. We as viewers are shocked by this, but then it turns out it was all a dream. At this time, the main character tries to fix Mecha Man, but the result is not crowned with success. After, Blondie calls him to her office, where Robbie zips up her dress and asks her to hide everything that's sticking out. Blazer says the team needs a new hero. We have a choice between Snotty Waterboy and Pheno Man, broken up after breaking up with Blondie. Of course you'd be upset. Lost such a chick. In short, I chose Waterboy. Pheno Man is very upset after the breakup, and I think he definitely won't like that I'm gonna flirt with his ex. On the girl's request, the main character talks with the guy, slightly brings him to his senses, and asks him not to send flowers to his ex. After, in the men's room, Invisigirl admits to Robert that she had a very unusual dream. The heroes exchange pleasantries, and at the most inopportune moment, Waterboy screws things up.
What are you doing here?
I had a dream last night that we were fucking. Usually I don't remember my dreams, but this one was pretty vivid.
How did I do?
I didn't finish.
And you chose to be here.
Sorry, I tried not to. I tried not to do that.
Don't worry about it, Waterboy.
The sound.
Bathrooms are for shitting after your first coffee and picking shrapnel out of your chest. Not for whatever this is.
At the end of the shift, we are given a fateful choice. The Invisigirl chills at the cinema and hints that she's lonely and really wants popcorn. At this time, Blondie texts Robert and invites him to dinner. Here we choose who we'll build further relations with. Honestly, I thought for a very long time, but still chose Blazer, who hooked up with the Invisigirl writing comments. By the way, nothing will happen between them, they'll just watch a movie, but with Blazer, it's more interesting. At the meeting, she reveals her secret. She removes the magic crystal and becomes an ordinary girl. Her height became significantly lower, and by hair color, she's not a blonde, but a brunette. But, as we understand, this only pleases the main character.
About time.
Hope it was worth the wait.
Not bad.
After, the heroes sit down for dinner and have a cool time. The next day begins with a flashback where Mecha Man fights some fire guy. After the flashback, we see how the main character trains in the gym, lifts weights like he's Mr. Universe, but at that moment realizes he slightly overdid it with the weight. The guy is pinned by the barbell, but then Flambe comes to helps Robert and trolls him, saying he's a weakling and trains with too light weights. A bit later, the gorgeous blonde thanks him for the last date and invites him to a new one. She asks who we'd like to see on the date, Blondie, Blazer, or Mindy. Of course, we tell the girl what she wants to hear and choose Mindy. During lunch break, the girls ask what superpower Robert has. He technically dodges, since few know he's the former Mecha Man. The armor, by the way, is being gradually restored, but it's still not ready for work. After a hard workday, the gang goes to chill at the supervillain bar. Gollum, unfortunately, isn't let in because he simply doesn't fit in the room. At the bar, our friends drink, chill, and play billiards. Sonar, by the way, thanks me for keeping him in the company. During the drinking, we see continuation of the flashback. The fire guy turns out to be Flambe. During the fight, he lost his fingers, and as we understand, all this was very long ago. Since Robert previously fought with many villains, he's afraid that in the bar, they'll take him for a hero and start harassing him. He tells Diva that he's uncomfortable hiding who he is. Almost no one on the team knows he's Mecha Man. A bit later, one guy harasses Robert, attacks him, and a massive brawl begins. The little one hits everyone in the balls. Malevola has fun with the guys. Prism reads rap and the gang takes out all the villains. After they get closer, eat tacos. And specifically, this moment is very cool because each hero says their real name.
You heard it. I'm Chad.
Of course. Hi, Chad.
My name's Courtney.
Nice to meet you, Courtney.
Herm. Sometimes Herman or Hermie. But my grandma calls me Herm, so Herm.
My name's Victor, because I'm a fucking winner.
I'm Alex.
Bruno.
Malevola? My last name's Gibb?
My name's Colin.
Here the heroes truly become close and start trusting each other. After some time, the guys try to restore the mecha with a special pulsator. Chase swears very strongly and insults Invisigirl. During one of the tests, the mecha armor explodes and Robert ends up in the hospital. After waking up, he licks his wounds and goes to work. There he sees Blondie, who all this time was covering for him at work. The guys exchange pleasantries and the main character sits down to work. After Robert's shift ends, his friends visit him, flick his balls, and start flirting with him. Diva turns on music and a party starts. All the supers enter the apartment, drink a lot, dance, and just have fun. At that moment, the heroes learn that at one of the warehouses lies another pulsator that will help restore Mecha Man. Chase drunkenly reveals Robert's secret, and everyone learns he's the former Mecha Man. Diva was about to go alone to the warehouse, but the guy stopped her. At the end of the party, she quarreled with Chase, and on a sad note, the party ends. Later, it turns out that info about the pulsator was leaked to the villains' chat, and the warehouse was attacked. Many villains, just like Diva, came here for it. Only our Diva does this for Robert's sake, not from personal motives. Robert contacts her and helps in every way. At that moment, Diva locks herself in her room, finds a case with the pulsator, and notices that someone took out all the villains. As it turned out, the main villain named Shroud came here. He attacks the chick, takes the case, and then she has an asthmatic attack. The villain throws away the breathing device and Dee starts suffocating. In these seconds, Chase, using his fast movement ability, saves Diva, but unfortunately dies himself. He had been on the edge for many years and therefore didn't use his abilities. At that moment, he understood that Diva is very dear to Robert and decided to sacrifice himself. After some time, we see a flashback about young Robert and Chase. As it turned out, Chase babysat the kid, ran errands for him, and spent time with him in every way. As soon as the flashback ends, we learn that Chase didn't die but fell into a coma. Blazer says Diva acted unconsciously and she needs to be excluded from the team. Robert promises he'll deal with this issue. A bit later, he notices that many heroes are angry at Diva because Chase suffered because of her. The gang gathers a superhero meeting and demands to exclude Diva from the team. Robbie says he's proud of each of the supers and respects their decisions. But as he believes in everyone in this room, he also believes in Diva. The team needs to unite for a common cause, not exile a person who made a mistake. The morale of the team drops, and Robert notices a closing door. All this time, Diva was in the room and heard their conversation. She thanked him for standing up for her. Diva wanted to return the pulsator to help Robert and make up for her guilt. The guy doesn't understand what this is about, and she tells her story. That evening, when Mecha Man was blown up, she worked for Shroud, and it was she who attached the bomb to the mecha's back. The thing is, her asthma was progressing, and Shroud installed a special device on her chest that increased her lung capacity. Since she was in debt to Shroud, he said she could repay all the debt at once by placing explosives on Mecha Man's back. After these events, she joined the Phoenix program for rehabilitation. Robert says our past shouldn't affect our future. We're different people, not who we were before. The guy forgives Diva, and then this happens. After this, the main character drinks at a bar. The bartender, resembling a robot zombie, says, "I'd tumble with Blondie Blazer," after which an unknown bearded guy says he can foresee the future. He's surprised why Robert didn't punch the bartender and decides to take the situation into his own hands. He kills the hairy one, and at that second, Coop, whom we fired at the beginning of the game, warms us with her heal. After we see how Shroud mocks Robert and tells in detail how he killed his father. The villain needs the pulsator, to which Robert answers, "I don't have it." Shroud pulls up a video recording, and it turns out Invisigirl deceived both and took the pulsator for herself. After this, a very cool moment happens. I won't retell it, I'll just show.
Blonde Blazer. I fired the bartender, but I can still get you something to drink.
No, thank you.
And to what do I owe the pleasure?
I'm here for him. In 5 minutes, this bar will be surrounded by SDN agents, heroes, and whoever else you and your ring have pissed off recently, which happens to be every gang in Los Angeles. Now, Hey, Mom! She's fucking bluffing.
Sorry about that. If they weren't shit, you wouldn't have cut them. You were saying?
I can see I'm outnumbered. That eventually I would fall. But by my read, I'm taking a lot of you with me. So all of you can leave now. Or half of you can die here.
The bad guys realize it's now more profitable to retreat and calmly leave. After some time, Blondie and Robbie chill on a sign, after which people of Shroud attack the city. A bit later, we see how some dude in a cat costume pours whiskey into employees' coffee. Definitely works better that way. Robbie appreciated the hookup and sits down to work. Because the attack on the city happened at night, many heroes aren't at work. To even the odds, Blondie goes to the city. At first, there are only 3 characters in the gang, but later the rest connect, joined by Blondie and Phenoman. And so the Mega Alliance fights against Shroud's army. At that moment, the lights go out in the building and Royd catches Diva. He takes the pulsator from her and handcuffs her. Meanwhile, enemies approach the building. Diva said they tried to recruit her to their side, but she refused. The big guy runs away to prepare Mecha Man's armor. Diva explains why she didn't give the pulsator. If she had given it to Robert at an inopportune moment, Shroud would take it, so she kept it for the guy's safety. The main character frees the chick and they kill a guy who just wanted to pee. After they argue about who will zip up his fly and separate, the guy goes for the armor, launches it with the pulsator, and at the crucial moment saves the big guy. Here, old acquaintances come out on the dance floor and a huge mechanical spider controlled by Shroud comes out. Carnage begins, during which all heroes try to defeat him. The fight is very epic and beautiful. At that moment, Toxic suggests resolving their old conflict.
Wow, you really think this little fucking Lucky Charm is a match for me?
He's got a special move.
After this, Coop enters the battle. The heroes try to convince her, but she resists in every way. The guys break her wings and leave her alive. During the fight, Shroud seriously wounds Blondie, after which an unexpected turn happens.
Shroud's got a new suit now? What the fuck? How long was I out?
Blazer.
You're the only one I told about my amulet, so I figured he wouldn't see it coming.
Thanks to the Stone Blazer War, Chase stayed alive and came to help at the right moment. The team's fighting spirit rises, they mow down enemies and destroy the huge spider. At the last moment, the villain pulls out a last trump card from his sleeve. He says if you don't give the pulsator, the dog will die. As we understand, the dog's life is important, so Robert goes to him. The villain knows the guy was messing around with Blondie, and in parallel, there was an intrigue with Invisigro. He says Diva worked on 2 fronts, and the villains are aware of everything. The guy gives the pulsator and takes the dog. Shroud turns out to be that same unknown bearded guy from the bar. He inserts the pulsator into his head and gets the power to foresee the future. Only in reality, this is all crap, because he shoots at Robert, and Diva protects him, after which the guy smashes the main villain's face into jelly. Very strange gift of foresight. Isn't it clear the guy will definitely go off the rails and knock out your all teeth? Here, the main villain can be either killed or spared. I decided to leave him alive. The heroes finish off the remaining villains, and the couple almost manages to kiss. In the morning, the heroes celebrate victory. The team forgives Diva for past screw-ups and thanks her for saving Robert. After the injury, she goes to the hospital, but before that, juicily kisses Robbie. Heroes rejoice, news creates content, and Robbie drinks beer with Blondie, who now is just Mindy. She tells him to pay attention to Diva and make her happy. In short, because he kissed her here, the relationship with Mindy didn't work out. But if you play this moment differently, the ending will be in Blazer's favor, and magic will also happen between them. Heroes rejoice. And on this beautiful note, the game ends. That's what kind of story this game turned out to have. Write in the comments what decisions you made, what ending you got, and who you ended up having a romance with. If you liked the video, definitely give your royal like and subscribe to the channel if you're here for the first time. Thank you all very much for your attention and see you very soon.
My name's Robert, such a bitch whose name is Robert. I'm a bitch, I'm a bitch. I'm such a fucking bitch. I have no hopes, I have no dreams. And a tiny little thing, and it doesn't even function anyway. Because I never got its function.